Woodflower. We're in the key of G, standard tuning, 4/4 time. Let's start off by looking at the structure of this song. You'll notice in the tab that we've got a 2-note pickup. So if we're making this G chord, well, that's a pickup, beats 3 and 4, and then that's beat 1. So as far as numbering goes, the second measure that you see in the tab, that'll be called measure number 1. So the pickup doesn't count in terms of the numbering. And then we play all the way through to the first ending, and then we go back to measure number 1, and we play all the way through and take the second ending. As we go through this, you'll notice that measures 1, 2, 3, and 4 are exactly repeated in measures 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I could have wrote a repeat there, but just to keep the tab simple, I only wanted like 2 endings and 1 repeat, just to keep it easy to follow. I just wrote it out again. So measure 1 through 10, I would consider part 1 of the song, and then measures 11 through 17, I would consider part 2 of the song. This is a nice little arrangement. Pretty easy to pick, frankly. The picking is not that bad. But the key to success with this song is knowing the chord forms, and there are only 4 of them, but knowing the chord forms and being able to change to the next chord form quickly enough so you don't interrupt the timing, so that the rhythm of the song can stay nice and solid. And we'll talk about where those changes are and maybe some hints as to how to make those. Of course, the main hint is learn those chord forms and then practice changing between them, and do this very, very slowly at first. And you'll be surprised. At first you might think, oh, I can't play this that fast. Well, the speed will come up as you get used to automatically jumping between those forms. So that's the key, really, to playing this song. Here are the 4 chord forms that we're going to be using in this song. We're going to be playing a G with your ring finger up here on the 5th fret. So it's really an F form. If we were down here playing F, and we moved him up 2 frets or a whole step, that's a G. So pretty standard 4-finger G. And in this song, a lot of times we're just going to make a 3-finger G out of it. Just playing the first 3 strings, and then maybe we add that ring finger onto the 4th string when we need them. So that's going to help make changes a little bit easier, jumping to a 3-finger. The next chord form is go back down to the D form. In other words, move that G down a fret and swap fingers. And with the D form too, we're going to make him as a 3-finger chord and then add in that 4th string when we need him. Again, that should make it a little bit easy to change chords. So as far as practicing goes, getting used to these forms, make the G, jump down to the D, jump back up to G, practice going back and forth between them. Until that gets to be natural for you. The next form we're going to have is we're going to bar at the 7th fret the first 3 strings. And really these next 2 forms, the other 2 forms, are going to have this little bar. First 3 strings at the 7th fret. You'll notice in measure 11, that's a G. So we have this bar, and we add 2nd string at the 8th fret, 1st string at the 9th fret. So that's a G. And the other form is same little bar on the 7th fret, and we're going to put down ring finger on the 3rd string at the 9th fret, middle finger on the 2nd string at the 8th fret, pinky grabs the 10th fret of the 1st string. So again, make those chords and kind of go back and forth a little bit. Those are the 4 forms. They're not hard to make. You just need to be able to get to those forms in time as you play the song. Let's go through the song a little bit now. We're going to start out with this G. And you notice in the tab I show it as a 3-finger G because we're not playing the 4th string. Plus, we need our ring finger available to come on and off the 3rd and 2nd strings. We're fretting the first 3 strings, and we go. Well, that ring finger is coming on and off the 2nd string in that case. So we got. So if you can play just that much, then I just added it to the 4th string. This is how we're going to start out then. Now comes time for that change. Let's take this nice and slow. Let's see if we can make the change there. We'll start from the beginning, see if we can make that change to the D chord. Starting out with the G form, 3 fingers only, because we need that ring finger to play some notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So, nice smooth change between the G and the D. And then we pretty much repeat, again, starting in measure 5. Now, we're in this G form. We're going to jump up to the G at the 7th fret. So the trick here is, I think, just put that bar down real quick at the 7th fret. That's your first note on the 3rd string. Then you got a little bit of time to get those other 2 notes down. So let's see how that transition works. I'm going to start in measure 9 with this. And there's your first important note in the middle of measure 10. So got the G, measure 9. So those are all quarter notes. As long as you hit the first one in time, you've got time to put your other 2 fingers down on the first 2 strings. What happens there? On beat 4, measure 11, I just simply take the ring finger off the 1st string, open it up to the bar. And in beat 4 of measure 12, I take the other finger off, so now we just have the bar there. Let's try that together. Now we're going to put down our C chord in measure 13. And notice we're on the C, and we're going to go back to the G. Well, we got a quarter note there with it open, time enough to get that G back down again. And now jump down to this 3-finger G. And again, the 3rd string is the important note here. If you have him down, you got a little bit of time to get the rest of him down. D. All right. That's Wildwood Flower. take it real slow. Practice these chords, chord changes. Your G in the F form, down to the D, back to the G. Make a bar at the 7th fret. Change the fingering. And then, that's the important note on the 3rd string with the 3-fingered G form. Take it slow, practice the chord changes, and have some fun with it. Wildwood Flower.